thank Dan for that very nice introduction. Barry, for coming and getting this rolling. This is just wonderful, and your reception is just grand. Thank you very much. Before I get started, I want to introduce a couple very important people that came with me. My wife, Carol, is over here. She's a senior at Texas A&M, and she's standing over here. But it certainly sounds like the revolution is alive. Yeah! We love you, Rod! I imagine you're just so surprised that the media says we've disappeared. From us tonight. They're going to hear from us for a long time. Yeah. A revolution is not a one-day occurrence. A revolution takes time, and it will last a long time, and it will change a country, and that is what we're getting ready to do. Isn't ever shown on TV. I can imagine that. But many who are involved are in denial. They don't understand what's going on. But believe me, the ideas are important. This campaign is very important because it's driven by ideas. And to prove the ideas are correct and popular, the best way to do that is to win an election. Yeah. As Manny mentioned, we're doing quite well, and the process is proceeding, and we're going to do well here in Rhode Island, right? Yeah! It's wonderful because, you know, the message that we have is not brand new, it's not strange, it's not complicated. It's based on a lot of good common sense as far as I'm concerned. Yeah! If you want to summarize it, it merely means that we want to restore liberty to America. America one time was known for its liberty, but in the last 100 years we've drifted a long way, and now we're suffering the consequences. Even though many recognize this, even back in the progressive era with the Woodrow Wilsons and the other, and 1913, a bad year, 16 Reserve Act. We lived along for a long time because we were so wealthy and we had so many natural resources that we didn't kill the golden goose overnight. But I tell you what, the golden goose is on its last legs right now unless we do something about it. And that's why I think we're getting the enthusiasm, because there is something we can do about it. And it's not something brand new. How about just sending only people to Washington who read the Constitution, understood it, and obey the Constitution? Yeah! What happened on the war issue? You mean we couldn't go to war without a declaration? There wouldn't have been a war since World War II. Oh, how tragic that would be if we didn't have a war. No more wars without a declaration. Get our troops out there. There was a time where they used to paint the label that if you didn't vote for the wars and all the expenditures, you didn't like the troops, you were un-American, you were unpatriotic. But guess what? If that's true, why do we get the most support from the troops? Yeah! And very simply, we need to follow Article 1, Section 8, dealing with war. You don't go to war unless the people have it declared through their representatives in government, and we deny the authority to the president to go to war on his own. But what about about the arrogance of a president that would come down, or the Secretary of Defense, and say, oh, we don't need to go to the Congress to get our marching orders. We can go
Impeach Obama!
They claim they can go to the United Nations. Well, I'd like the United Nations to
Impeach Obama!
This week, there was a little bit of foreign policy going on. Our president was down in Colombia, in South America. You know, I didn't know exactly what was going on, but you know I declined to have the Secret Service protect me.
Yeah!
I very rarely comment on immediate diplomatic efforts around the world with our president, but you know, it's irresistible because our president went down there to represent us. And the first issue that came up is, Mr. President of the United States, could we have a discussion and maybe a more open dialogue with Cuba? Isn't the Cold War over? The president said, no way, we can't do that. We got to be tough on the Cubans. I say, let's trade with Cuba, let's go to Cuba, let's travel to Cuba. Then that would undermine that system. When you trade and talk to people and travel, that is what undermines their government. Not sanctions.
Yeah!
There are now many people in Central America, in Mexico, and South America, as well as in this country, that have come around to a very different position on the drug war. So this subject came out, and the position of the other government said that maybe we ought to discuss it. Maybe we ought to change these drug laws. Yes, I think we should discuss it. I think we should come to the same conclusion that we did after we tried prohibition of alcohol when it failed to repeal prohibition of drugs. Issue is a very important issue. Drugs are very dangerous. But what isn't dangerous? Driving cars is dangerous, and there's all kinds of things. But who's responsible to protect you against danger? You're supposed to be. Protect us against ourselves. That is giving up all your liberty. The government owns you. They can protect you against all your own personal actions.